This is Tom Biernacki, and today I'm talking about the 7 best foods for your gout attack and the 7 foods to avoid for your gout attacks. I see this thousands of times, and we're starting now. Gout is a brutal disease. This is one where you're doing good the night before and you wake up the next day and you're like, oh my, this is the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I have to cancel work, cancel all my plans. I cannot do anything. That's gout. It's basically from taking in too much DNA products, so DNA is found in cells, it goes into your body, it gets turned to a metabolism product or garbage product called uric acid that your kidneys should excrete. But either you're getting too much of it and you're not excreting enough of it, and it gets built up in the middle, which is me, the body, and it usually goes to the coldest areas, like our fingers, our toes, our big toe joints, our ankles, our feet. I like to think of gout like a cold glass of water, and you pour too much sugar in it, and rather than dissolving in the body, it sinks to the bottom. And those ice crystals slice up your joints, ruin your cartilage, erode your bone. This is the king's disease. It's from eating too much of the good stuff and getting too cozy in life. So we gotta stop this. This is a major problem across the world. It's getting worse every single year. And I've got people coming to our offices all the time. So we've gotta stop this problem. Gout is usually diagnosed based on the symptoms and medical history. So when somebody comes in, 99% of the time that people are told something's gout, it's not really gout. The real trick with gout is when you drank some beer before, when you fit the demographics. So, I mean, you're a little bit bigger, you're a little bit older, you've maybe had a gout attack before. The best foods for gout are cherries. Cherries are a great option. They're very well studied. They are rich in a compound called anthocyanins. This is an anti-inflammatory product which can help reduce the risk of gout attacks. Low-fat dairy. I go over this in other videos, but realistically, you should probably cut out your dairy in general, except for eggs. But milk, it's not very beneficial to you. I go over that in other videos. But skimmed milk, low-fat yogurt, these are things can help, or at the very least, switching to stronger fat milks can help. You want to eat healthier food with less sugar overall. The next great food is vegetables. Vegetables like spinach, kale, broccoli are rich in nutrients, vitamin C and K, and these have been shown to reduce the risk of a gout. Vitamin C specifically is a vitamin shown to help lower uric acid levels. And while vitamin K specifically can help prevent the formation of uric acid crystals in joints. Now, people always attack the amount of oxalates inside vegetables. If you're prone to kidney stones, that's a great option, but the idea is cut your overall food down as well and make a larger percentage of it vegetables. Switch from simple grains. If you're eating simple cereals, if you're eating high glycemic foods, switch to ones that are harder to digest, like brown rice, quinoa, oatmeal. Switch away from those white pastas, white rice, and switch to the darker, thicker stuff. These are more rich in fiber, and fiber has been shown to lower uric acid levels and reduce gout attacks. I love fiber powder. It'll help you go to the bathroom easier. It'll cut down your uric acid. So check out fiber supplements as well. It's a great option. Berries. So berries like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, they're rich in vitamin C and polyphenols. These are shown to have anti-inflammatory properties and can reduce the risk of gout attacks. We've already talked about cherries juice as a great option, but the berries as well. Water. So we're talking about lowering your intake of DNA products and creating less uric acid. Water actually helps uric acid get to the kidneys and helps your kidneys excrete it. So we want to do two things. We want to lower all the bad foods and we want to raise the function of the kidneys. And that's what water does. Plant-based proteins and a higher protein diet. Plant-based proteins like lentils, beans, tofu are rich in fiber and have been shown to lower uric acid levels in the blood. A lot of people push vegetarianism on you, but this is one option. This is food that gives you your protein levels, is high in fiber, limits your uric acid. This is where it gets controversial because I'm going to go over the foods to avoid, but while I'm on the plant protein subject, I have a lot of comments, and they're true comments, about the carnivore diet because some meat gets bashed here. But I'm going to preface this by saying the carnivore diet can be great because it cuts out garbage foods. It cuts out simple sugars. It cuts out what causes 42% to 50% of the calories in America. The number one cause of being fat and out of shape and unhealthy in America is simple sugars. That's not a secret anymore. Switching to the carnivore diet, even though carnivore diet does lead to DNA intake, it leads to smaller levels. You get full faster. Even though that food is higher percentage foods that can become uric acid, it's not a vast amount of it like people would otherwise be getting that then creates uric acid. It doesn't bog down your circulatory system and it lets you excrete it. And that's my thoughts on the carnivore diet. Does the carnivore diet offer solutions? Maybe. Am I personally doing it? I'm not personally doing it. You know, I think a nice balanced diet of the stuff I talked about can be a great option, but there's no doubt I'm not against the carnivore diet. And keep that in mind before I go over some of these foods. Worst foods are organ meats. So organ meats like liver, kidneys, sweetbreads are high in purines. And purine is a DNA product. So the more cells you have, the more DNA you have in those cells. They are broken down to uric acid. Red meats. So red meats also get a bad rap. I have a video about my 6 lies on meat. Check that out below. They're not all bad, especially in proper quantities. Red meats have higher amounts of purines, which is a DNA product, which can lead to more uric acid, more gout attacks. Another one is seafood. So seafood like shrimp, lobster, and crab are high in purines and can increase the risk of gout attacks. The omega-3 rich foods like salmon, like cold water fish, these do the opposite because they have great omega-3 acids, which decrease your inflammations. And omega-3 actually makes one of our home remedy options. So check out our home remedies for gout below. Great segue. So seafood is not all seafood. Cold water fish are their own special healthy class. So don't cut out cold water fish. Sugary drinks. This is probably my number one worst one. Sodas, fruit juices, low fiber fruit juices. So if you're actually putting a fruit in a blender, that's a different story. That's shown to be healthy, but I'm talking about processed foods specifically. If it's made in a factory, it's probably not great for you. If it's coming from your garden, it's probably good for you. And the biggest one, alcohol. What it does do is it's high in purines. It increases uric acid production. It dehydrates you. It overwhelms your kidneys. So that's the worst of both worlds. Most people with true gout attacks are due to a night of drinking and having some fun. You want to do that water drinking rule. If you have 1 beer or 1 glass of wine, drink 1 or 2 glasses of water. And high fat foods. Specifically, I'm going to change it from high fat because fat is now unfairly blamed. It's really processed fried garbage foods like with fried skin, everything on there. That's bad fat. And what happens is that increases the risk of gout attack. Refined carbohydrates, simple sugars, specifically bread, pasta, rice, cut those out. Studies show that increases your insulin levels. Insulin levels lead to high uric acid levels. Anything that raises your insulin, which is those sugary drinks, those pastas, big meals, leads to a high risk of gout attacks. Hey, guess what? We have a phenomenal book. I believe this is the premier book on chronic nerve pain and peripheral neuropathy pain on the planet. I've put years of work seeing tens of thousands of peripheral neuropathy patients, working with some of the best diabetic endocrinologists, the best doctors, the best neurologists in building out this book. For you, my viewers, we have a discount code available. Get on our mailing list and get that book down here.